We're up to Siman Seif Beis. The Mechaber had said yesterday, who can be a Seifer? So it has to be someone who's obligated to wear tefillin and who actively believes in tefillin. So a woman who are exempt, Goyim, can't be Seifer. Says the Mechaber in Beis, Kol she'pasal l'kaisvan, any person who's not able to write, pasal b'chol tikkun asiyasan, he can't fix anything. Meaning, they can't fix the boxes, they can't fix the ritzuas. If you're puzzle and you're out, then you're out. The Mishnah Berurah says, "B'chol umisha nikta yada ismalis af b'sheina b'kshira yachal lichtav tefillin degav bar chiyuvu l'pumu dekoyvle." He says, let's say you have someone who's missing their left arm, so nebuch they can't wear tefillin. Practically, they can still be the Seifer because they're obligated. They just can't actively do it. You understand that there's obviously a separation. Now, he says, what's also for a person to do? If you're puzzle for writing, you're not allowed to do a maisa. The Mishnah Berurah says a maisa is something within the gufat tefillin, like making the boxes, sewing it, making the shin. But yeah, okay, fine. I will ibra a cloth, but he says, but let's say putting it into putting the material of the cloth into lime, that's not that's more preparation. That's not actively making the tefillin, and that would be permissible. Okay, fine. Yeah, fine. Gimel. Ger shechazel ledasai. Let's say you have a convert who went off the derech. Now, why did he go off the derech? So says the Mechaber, machmas yira, because he had fear, meaning he went off the derech because he was intimidated. Now, that's not an excuse. That doesn't mean what he did is right, but it means that he still believes in Judaism. He just went off the derech because he was getting intimidation from his, previous life. So, kosher lichtav tefillin, he could still write tefillin. Meaning, don't think that because he went off the derech, he's considered like someone who has the status of a guy who doesn't believe. He believes. He's intimidated. Again, not an excuse for what he did, but he's still considered someone who believes in tefillin. The Mishnah Berurah says, "Shalei yargeyu." What does it mean that he's intimidated? He's afraid they're going to kill him because he converted. They're threatening his life. V'afta be'emes havalei limsar nafshay, and even though avodah zara gilaraya shrichas damim, you're supposed to give up your life. So how did he go back to Christianity? He should give up his life, like the Maranos, all these people. Mikamakim liyatzim miklal Yisrael. He's still a Jew. If you do avodah zara normally, you can't write tefillin. But that's when you actively want to do it, avodah zara. Over here, he doesn't want to do it. He's just not strong enough to pass that test. He's still an onus. He says, but if it's not in this situation, meaning if you have someone who doesn't wear tefillin because of laziness, if it's not like a fear of death, he can't write the tefillin anyway. He can't write. Once you're not wearing tefillin practically, then you're out. Unless it's this case mamish where you're just not doing it because of fear of death. Ayin b'bir agroshis and gam kelam Magen Avraham. So the Magen Avraham is disagreeing with the Mechaber basically. The Mechaber holds that if you're not, the Magen Avraham seems to be ein lahakol b'zeh afilim b'tzinu hu shomer satira rak shebhanochas tefillin hu mesatzel ta'olikol panim eina b'kshira. It sounds like the Magen Avraham doesn't really believe doesn't follow the Mishnah Berurah so much. Okay. Now the Mechaber writes in Dalit. We'll just run through these fairly quickly. Tefillin shekasvam apikoros. If the tefillin were written by an apikoros is someone who doesn't believe in the oral Torah, then the halacha is yisrafu. You have to burn the tefillin. So we don't believe that the Shem Hashem that he wrote is not really Shem Hashem. V'yesham yignazu, and some say put in a shemis. So it's a machlokes, so you definitely can't wear them. The only question is it shemis or do you burn? Okay. Okay, well maybe we'll talk about it next time, but these are not so practical. I don't... Hey, nimtzu biyad apikoros v'nidu mikasvam yiganzu. Let's say you have tefillin that apikoros is selling. We don't know if he wrote it or he bought it. Then you just put in shemis. Vav nimtzu biyad in Yehudi v'nidu mikasvam ksherim. If a guy has them and he's selling them, it's probably kosher because how's a guy aren't writing Sefer Torahs. So mistama there was probably purchased by from Jew. Maybe from Jew probably sold it to him. Ein loichen tefillin mezuzas svarim min akusim yaisim ichdei demehem. But you're not allowed to buy tefillin from a guy higher than the market. Meaning, if you have a guy, let's say you have a guy who's selling tefillin. So you say to yourself, I should spend more money to get it out of their hands because it's not good for it to be by them. The Shulchan Aruch says, no, you can't spend above the market price. Why? Because it's going to lead them to steal things. If they know that they can get tefillin and charge an exorbitant price, they're going to steal as many tefillin as they can. So in order to stop that, you cannot pay above market price in order to save tefillin from a guy. I'll stop it. The Mishnah Berurah says that if it's not above price, you're mechuyev to buy it to protect the tefillin from being in the hands of a guy. He says chayavin liknes b'hem. But after the Seif Torah, even though by a Seif Torah not like that, chayav liknes b'hem. You can't use them. You still have to buy it. I mean, even if you can't use the tefillin, it's kedai to purchase just to get it out of their Kedai shelo yaveh. I become lezalzel b'hem. Said it's not a zilzel by a guy. Yeah.
How do you prove to what